Good morning, juniors. We really wish we could be in person in front of you today, but we thought we would put this together because senior year is coming up soon, and we just want to make sure we can get you some important information and remind you that we are here to help in any way we can during this crazy time.
We really are starting to focus on your plans for what you're going to do after high school. So ninth and 10th grade, a lot of our focus was on adjusting to high school and figuring out how to study, how to manage all your schedules and your classes. In 11th and 12th grade, we've shifted to how to do life. And for this means the summer before your senior year is an important one. And you'll be spending a lot of time with Ms. Ginther and I your senior year figuring out what comes next for you.
So here's just kind of a reminder of all the opportunities that are out there after high school. A good visualization. So there's the 2-year transfer program that you can find at MATC and other colleges. You can go right into a 4-year school, like a UW college or one of the private schools out there. Technical school and technical training. There are programs that are very specific that you can get done in less than 2 years that you go right into an area. Oftentimes the trades. And then there's apprenticeship opportunities. So kind of like the opportunities that we've had in high school, there are, opportunities in adult apprenticeships. And again, those are like electrician, plumbing. So you would actually go right into work and be paid and in training and doing classes right away. And then, of course, there is the military and our armed forces, which is also a possibility. So if these are things you're thinking of, again, start to reach out and we can help you prepare.
Another option that you could pursue is definitely entering the workforce. We know many of you have jobs right now. We have seen many more students decide to go into the workforce instead of maybe school right away, especially due to the pandemic and things like that. So we can definitely help you get set up if you're thinking a job is what comes next for you.
Exploration, not declaration. So again, we do not expect you to have your whole life figured out right now, right? You still have such a long journey ahead to learn more about yourself and your likes and experiences that are to help you kind of define your path. So the important thing, though, you can't just not pick anything to start exploring. So we want you to really just start to dive into a path to see if it's right for you, but know that it doesn't have to be forever.
So throughout high school, we've been working with you on answering these questions. So who am I? Where am I going? And how am I getting there? This has been a lot of what we've done in advisory through academic and career planning, and something that we will continue to do, especially next year, as we start to make decisions about what comes next for you.
So we're going to cover some myths, and one of those would be that you're going to make this one huge decision about the career you're going to have, and you're going to have it the rest of your life. And that's not true. The actual fact in this is that the average person has 12 to 15 jobs in their lifetime. So again, start somewhere, dive right in, get some experience, and you can always kind of change paths and build on that.
Another myth is that there's this magic 8-ball moment, or you wake up one day and you're like, okay, now I have it all figured out. That is definitely not true, or things would be a lot easier for every single person. It's a step-by-step process, right? And myself, Ms. Ginther, and other people in your life are here to support you. I think it's also really important to figure out what you don't like, because that'll help you make better informed decisions moving forward as well.
And again, just knowing it's action steps that are important for you to take. It's not going to just really work itself out. You really got to go out there and kind of make things happen. So here are some things just to kind of keep in mind while you're deciding, things that can help you. find that path. Elective classes, these are great ways to, dive into something new, try something new before you leave high school, right? Oftentimes, you are like, oh, I don't really know if I like that class. Well, why not give it a try? Nothing to lose. Well, it's free, and oftentimes a lot of the elective classes have certifications, which can be really great to build your resume. So make sure you're checking into those opportunities. And we are still able to make changes in your course selection for next year. So if, as we're talking in the next week or so, if you want to make changes, please reach out. Another great tool is Zello. Those assessments can really kind of help you look at options that might be a good fit for you. So make sure you're completing those activities and taking them seriously, and researching the careers that are out there. There's really great information, interviews from people in the field of different careers, lots of information about how to get into the field and what the if there's a lot of jobs or not. So please use that tool. And summer is a great time to take advantage of that. Clubs and organizations. Get involved. Even if you maybe haven't been very involved in the past, now's the time. Those can be great ways to network and meet people and learn about different careers and opportunities. Can help build your resume. One thing that can really help with is scholarships for next year, which we'll talk more about. They really do look at involvement in school and other organizations. Work-based learning. Work is a great way to find out what you like and what you don't like, right? Kind of what career you think might be a good fit based on your experiences in the workplace. Job shadows are a great way to kind of get into a field, to kind of go and experience the atmosphere and see if it's a good fit for you. And then informational interviews, just talking to people about what do they do? What do they like about their job? What don't they like about your job? These are all things that can kind of help you narrow things down and come up with a plan for after high school.
If you need some help navigating Zello, we will send this presentation to you. And if you click on this link, this is a YouTube video on how you actually access all the tools in Zello. And then if there's someone at home wondering what Zello is, we also have a nice handout you can show your parent or guardian as well.
All right, here's some opportunities too we want to make sure that you are aware of for next year. So we have the Early College Credit Start College Now program, and this is designed for students to take a class. Maybe they've already taken a class in high school. Let's use sociology, for example. They could take it at the college level, and it's a great way to kind of get a feel for college and help you transition. That is due October 1st to take a class your spring of your senior year. So that's really important to, make a note of that deadline, because it is, there's no wiggle room there. So again, if you're interested in learning more about taking college classes for credit while you're in high school, please reach out to one of us. Teaching assistant, for those of you going into education or really passionate about, some of the classes that are being taught, a teaching assistant is a great way to get experience and add to your resume. So the process for that would really be to start, with maybe a teacher that you would have in mind that you'd want to help with, and ask if they're interested in having a helper. We also have students that work at the middle school and the elementary school level as well. So those are options for you to consider. And then lastly, youth apprenticeship and work experience. If you want part of your day senior year to, be out working or, on a job site, that is very possible as well. But talk to us sooner than later so we can start to work that in your schedule for next year.
Just a little bit more information on youth apprenticeship. We know many of you are actually already in this program, but if you have any questions, Penny Thompson is our coordinator for this program, and she would love to meet with you. You can make an appointment with her online, just like you would make an appointment with myself or Miss Ginther. But there are several different areas you could do a youth apprenticeship in. It is not just construction and trades. There's also health science, finance, hospitality, marketing. And it's just a good way to get your foot in the door and take the risk now in high school when things are free and try to figure out what you like and don't like.
College planning. So, for those of you that are interested in going on to college right away, here are some important steps. You got to identify those majors, the areas of interest, because every college is kind of going to differ in what they specialize in and what they offer. Admissions requirements. It's important to know what a typical GPA is for that college, that who they admit, what kind of ACT score that they accept. Now, in this particular year, most colleges actually will not require ACT score, so that's something also to to check with the institution you're interested in to see if that's something you'll need to take if you have not already. Campus visits are so important. I can't stress that enough, to really get on campus to see, is it a good fit for you? Can you imagine yourself, in that space and being successful? Because you'll really know once you get there if you feel like it's a good place for you. Things to consider that are really important. The location. I mean, how far away from home are you willing to be? How far is too far? Starting to think about that. The size of the city. Is it the city, do you do better in a small town? Do you really need to be in a bigger city with a lot of stuff going on? Looking at class sizes, the resources that a college offers, like opportunities as far as, study abroads and things like that. Really, starting a list of, maybe pros and cons of campuses and taking notes on different places would really be a good thing to start to do. And then lastly, starting to think about your essays for next year. What do you really want to, how do you want to sell yourself? What sets you apart from someone else that might be applying? Starting to think about, what you want to focus on. And then having an activities resume is really helpful to have handy when you are applying. That not only will help with applications for college, that will also help for scholarships next year. And for those more competitive campuses like UW-Madison, University of Minnesota Twin Cities, oftentimes they're going to require a letter of recommendation. So starting to think about who would be someone that you would ask. And it doesn't hurt to ask before the school year's over, just so they would have summer to have that done. And then you're ready to go for when applications open up in August.
Thinking about kind of the timeline of where we're at. So we are currently, I guess it's May, right? So we have about a month left of your junior year. This is kind of how we're set up, right? So continuing exploring on Zello. A lot of campuses are opening back up, like Ms. Ginther said. So maybe May, June over the summer, although we'd really encourage you to get to campus when there are students there to get the best feel. But summer is sometimes the easiest time to go. Start scheduling those campus visits. You can definitely take them, you can definitely schedule them online. There's a lot of virtual tours right now too, just because of COVID. As we get to the summer, that's also a good time to start volunteering. Maybe if you have a job, pick up those hours, kind of start to plan out, if you are thinking about college, what you would put on those applications. Applications are opening up earlier and earlier each year, it seems. And actually in August, you're probably going to start having access to start your applications to the colleges that you're thinking of.
So just to let you know, I know this is a lot of information, but the good news is we are here for you. We particularly like to, dedicate a lot of time to our seniors because we know how much you have on your plate. So not to worry, we will offer a college boot camp in August for those of you who do want to apply to college, so we can kind of walk you through the whole process again and make sure you have everything you need. And then we also offer for every senior one-on-one individual meetings, so we can talk through your individual goals and make sure that we can do everything we can support you your senior year to help you prepare.
One thing to start thinking about now, if you haven't already, is if you're thinking about college, how are you going to pay for it? We are definitely here to help you figure out any financial aid application questions, show you the process. One thing we really recommend you might do now with your family is this forecaster. So when you put the forecaster in, you can help guesstimate maybe what kind of loans and aid your family would receive without actually having to submit the application for financial aid. Um, the other thing is scholarships. So grants and scholarships you don't have to pay back, but loans you do. So we really encourage students to apply for scholarships. We have plenty through the McFarland Education Foundation and then just other local sponsors that want to help our McFarland students pay for college. Most colleges offer specific ones for their college and specific majors. And then also fastweb.com, and there's some other resources we will start sharing with you, can also get you connected to scholarships. Although you might not be able to apply to scholarships yet, we do recommend you start looking so you can start to get organized and realize what kind of recommendations and what kind of financial information you're going to need.
All right, again, we know we covered a lot of information and we're in a very, interesting year. So please, please, please reach out to us anytime. We'll be available to respond to you with questions all through the summer as well. So please just get in touch with us. We're here to help.